Hey girls, my name's Jordan Philbeck and I'm a Black Status presenter with Younique. And last week I did a video on having high PRS, building relationships, and also how to build elites from that. I've gotten a lot of questions on time management, daily tasks, weekly tasks, and monthly goals, and kind of how I work through that. So I wanted to share with you, I do have a video on time management that I will get loaded to YouTube. So watch that first. Secondly, with time management, I will say it's very important, and I do this at around 10 o'clock every night. I set up my day for the next day so that I know I can wake up and be successful with whatever time I have, with whatever my schedule is that day, because every day is very different. That's a question I've also gotten asked. No, my days don't look the same every day. I work around whatever my schedule is with my family, with my kids, with games, practices, things like that. So every day is different, but if on the night before, before you go to bed, if you will just take out a pen and paper, write down your daily task list and really what you're going to accomplish the next day, you will wake up with purpose. You'll wake up and you'll say, you know what, I can tackle this. I can get 2 or 3 things done on my list before I move on with my day, or whatever it might look like for you. Everybody's life's different. Everybody's schedule will be different, but with a task list, no matter what your schedule is, you're able to see what you've accomplished. You're able to be happy about small wins and to, at the end of the day, feel like you've accomplished things. Okay, so that is what I do with time management. I am efficient, I plan, and I get it written down the night before. Okay, so the next question I've been asked before I start is mapping. Do I map in the month or do I map the month prior? I always map my team and myself about 4 to 5 days prior to the month starting. So for example, for June, in the last 3 to 5 days, really, I will tweak, fine tune, gather goals, and make sure I'm ready to run into June so that on June 1st, I'm not scrambling trying to figure out the kudos and scrambling to get my party started and get my team geared up. We are ready and ready to rock. So that's very, very, very important. Okay, so daily tasks. These are about 15 things, and I want you to remember your business, depending on where you're at, if you're brand new, if you are Black Status, if you are pink, whatever you are, a daily task list will have very similar things across the board. And as you grow, I want you to, you'll see how comfortable you become with your daily task list, that you'll add 2 or 3 things. You'll take something away. You will tweak that as you go. Okay, so this is pretty general. Rule of thumb, things I do every day. Okay, so daily task list number 1 on my list is posting 3 to 6 times a day on Facebook. So I literally will have 3 little tick marks, or 4 or 5, however many I'm going to plan to have that day, and I will mark them off as I go, because that's a business income producing activity, because you will get more people to see your Facebook. It keeps you in their news feeds. It keeps you working and your business open. When I'm posting, some are lifestyle, some are about my business, some are about my family, some would be a question. It is literally a place where you are just keeping constant action, and it's diversified. You are not just posting buy for me, buy for me. I never post my website. It is all about being part of my life, and it is a part of attraction marketing. And that's very important to understand, that it's not a place for you to be salesy whatsoever. Number 2, I post 1 to 2 times a day in my beauty blog. So that's my VIP group. It is a secret closed group. You have to be in it to see it type thing. I can run specials in there. I can do different things in there than I can on my personal wall. However, this is a place that is not salesy. I never post my party link. I never post my website. I never say buy for me, this party closes soon. This is a blog, and I want you to understand a blog is a place where you're sharing your life, you're sharing information, you're talking about what you love, talking about your family, whatever it is, beauty tips and tricks, you know, whatever you want to share with your beauty followers are inside that. So I suggest 1 to 2 times a day. Number 3, friending 5 to 10 new people a day. Depending on what time you have to give, depending on what goals you have set in place, that will determine how many of these things you're doing. But I look at it this way. Sorry, it cut me off. We have a business to run, and so what I mean by that is you can't just focus on attraction marketing. You can't just focus on messaging people. You kind of have to touch in all areas of your business to kind of keep it moving forward every day. So my daily task list is touching on all parts, and obviously you can do more in each area depending on the time you have to give. Okay, so number 4 would be adding 5 new friends to your beauty blog every day. So when you're friending these people, you're gonna find you have so many friends on your personal page that you don't have in your beauty blog. So you're gonna wanna be adding people there. And also what I like to do when I add someone to my beauty blog, I like to send them a quick message, save it in the notes on your phone, however you can be most efficient, and forward that or message that to those individuals that you're adding. And just say, hey, just want to welcome you to my beauty blog. If you ever have any questions, I'd love to answer them. Offer to send a catalog, whatever you can do just to make them feel welcome. Not a pressure zone. Do not put your party link. Do not put your website. Do not say bye for me. Don't talk about prices, nothing. It's a place for you to welcome them, build that relationship, ask them a question. Okay, let's see. Next, number 5, have contact with about 15 people a day. Okay, so what can that look like? I'm not talking about follow-ups. I'm talking about new ads to your group, to people that you see being added. Building relationships can be counted towards that. People that like or comment on your personal page or in your beauty blog or that ask questions. So take that offline or into a personal message. Take it into text message. Take it into a personal conversation. For example, today I talked to 2 or 3 people about products in person. So if I were documenting and I had a time restraint, I would mark off 2 or 3 little tick marks and say, okay, I've accomplished that goal. And I would make sure and voice message some people, talk to people, just building relationships. This is not about parties. This is not a follow-up. And this is not about the opportunity. These are just contacts to build your net, to build your network, and really to build your net, to build who you know, people that you have in common, people you make contact with. So these are the relationship building, 15 of those. Okay, so number 6 on the list for a general person, be a good Facebook friend. So it's very easy to start scrolling through Facebook and sit there and waste time. So this is a task I like to say, put a time restraint on it, okay? Say for 10 minutes, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna scroll through Facebook. I'm gonna comment on as many as I can, much more so than liking, so that I'm in their feed. People that I want to build a relationship with, people that are my close friends, people that I want to know that I'm active on Facebook and that I want to get to know better. So be a good Facebook friend. That is all about business building. It is income producing when you put a time restraint on it and you're smart about it. If you just sit there for hours and you're just scrolling through Facebook and you count that as your work, that doesn't work. So you have to put a time restraint, be effective and efficient when you're working on your business, okay? Number 7 would be talk with 5 new people a day about the opportunity. So what I recommend is at the beginning of every month, make a hundreds list. And what your goal should be is about 5 days a week, let's say, that you're messaging 5 people every day about the opportunity. If it's people, so on that hundreds list, you could write down 100 names that you see from Facebook, in your phone, in your husband's phone, people you have in your warm market, people, your neighbors, people that you just simply think of, people you went to high school with, people you go to church with or the gym, whatever it is, have a hundreds list. And on that list, document next to it why you think they'd be great, or why you want to offer them an opportunity, or whatever it is, so that when you're doing the 5 new opportunity messages each day, it's easy and it's fast, okay? So you might say, to one person, you could voice message and say, hey girl, I just wanted to reach out and just let you know that I think you'd be amazing at this. Have you ever thought about joining my team? That could be one type of message, depending on the person. Let's say that there's a VIP person, someone that buys from you consistently, that places a good order. You could reach out and you could just say, hey Becky, I just wanted to reach out. I think you're gonna love your new products. Have you ever thought about getting your products at a discount? Question mark. That's it. Another message may look like you see somebody on Facebook one day and they have great selfies. They are posting themselves constantly and making no money off of it. So you could reach out and just say, hey Susie, I saw your post the other day. You are just beautiful. Have you ever thought about making money on your beautiful selfies? I mean, depending on what the person is or why they would be great, tweak your message to fit them. Remember, it's about them, it's not about us. Okay, very important, because if you have a blanket message to everyone, no one's gonna feel that it's about them. It's gonna feel more pressury and salesy, which we don't want. Okay, number 8, depending again where you're at in your business, this should be about your team. Lift them up, send a message. You could come up with One day you could focus on your runners, and you could send 2 or 3 messages to your runners and just say, hey girlfriend, just checking in, how's your day? What's your focus today? What can I help you with? That could be a simple message. You could send a daily task to your team chat. If you have a team, if you're a leader, if you have one person on your team, you need to lead them and guide them and help them to feel successful. So have a team chat. Have an elite chat if you have elites already built up. Reach out and dig deep. One day a week, and this is on my weekly task list, I like to reach deep into my back office, okay? So when we're talking daily versus weekly, every day, it's literally on my list, someone on my team, okay? So I want to reach out to them. I want to congratulate them on something they're doing great. We want to capitalize on people's qualities that are wonderful, and we want to help them with things they need help with, okay? So don't ever be negative. Reach out and just let them know, hey, you're doing a great job at this. What can I be of assistance to you? How can I help you? And just be there for them. Another way that you could work on your team is to make a post. And this goes back to the first task. This can count as one of your posts. You can post on your personal page about someone on your team. Congratulate them, tag them. Let your followers see that you're a leader, and also let her see that you notice how great she's doing. Okay, number 9 on my list is working your parties. So I like to clump my parties and set them up on certain days of the month. So every day, to consider marking this off, it would mean that I'm hostess coaching, that I am posting in my parties, posting at least one video, double checking if anyone's commented or liked, or if I need to reach out to anyone for a color match. So working my parties is one of those tasks. Number 10 would be personal development. So when I'm teaching someone, that maybe they tell me, Jordan, I have 1 hour a day to work my business. What can I do? We come up with a 10-step checklist very similar to this. So this is a basic checklist. When they are limited with time, the personal development piece, I tell them that I want it to be a video. And even if I have to send it to them for a while to get them used to it, they need to listen while they're driving. They need to listen while they're working. So it's a multitasking piece. So it's not adding to their day, but yet they're getting it done, okay? So personal development is very, very important. A couple other things that I would add to that 10-step checklist if you are moving forward in your business, if you want to get to pink and blue and green, would be to check on your team training page. So for me, I would want my girls to check my training page where I've posted any information. I would ask them to check our team chats, see if they need to answer anything, see if they need to get with me on some topic. And just kind of keep up to date on what's going on. And number 12 would be working with a pacing partner. Once I have a presenter that is up and ready, they've trained, they've gone through my new presenter training, and they're working their business, and they're like, you know what, I want to help to get to yellow, I want to get to pink. I find them a pacing partner if they want it. And every day I just want them corresponding, just like a friend would. It's not really an added task. But when someone needs a checklist, I put that on there so that they feel accomplished and that they're building relationships with someone that is helping them. Okay, let's quickly talk about weekly tasks. So those are my daily tasks. And then once a week, I like to add one of these pieces from my weekly list so that I'm, again, touching on all parts of the business, okay? And it's most efficient to do these weekly for me rather than daily, because that takes away from my team training, which is my biggest focus now. So number 1 on my weekly task is to party blitz. And what that looks like, a lot of people are like, Jordan, what is a party blitz? I don't get it. I don't know what a sponsor blitz is. What that means is just devoted time to working through your follow-ups and party blitzing, meaning, I like to follow up usually once or twice a week. I add it to my list. Party blitz once a week, sponsor blitz once a week. Typically 30 minutes to an hour on each one. So maybe on a Sunday night, I'm party blitzing. I'm sitting there for 30 minutes and I'm working through my follow-ups, and I'm checking in on people that love their products, and I'm offering them the opportunity to have a beauty bash to earn free products. So what it really means is that you're not being caught off guard by everything going on Facebook or what your team needs or anything else. It's just a devoted time to that task so that you feel accomplished and you get it done. So party blitz once a week. Number 2 is sponsor blitz once a week. Even if that looks like to you, maybe you add that to a daily list, but I like to kind of do it once a week where I'm really devoting to anyone I'd love on my team. So I'm really reaching out. Number 3, evaluate your goals every week. So sit there in your back office and decide what needs focus in your business, okay? So just taking some planning time. Number 4, making videos or taking a bunch of good pictures. For me and my lifestyle with 3 kids around all the time, I can't do them every day. I can find time once a week to knock out a couple so that I have them to use throughout the week. Number 5 would be getting samples together, getting some mailers together, blitz cards or catalogs. Get those things packaged up and ready to go. I like to do that on a Sunday, so I have maybe 5 or so to have ready to go. I can deliver some, I can mail some. I just have them on hand. I always find that it's effective to have them, but if I'm trying to make them every day, it's too daunting. So once a week, I set aside time for that. Number 7 is I like to plan a team call or a team Zoom once a week, and Zoom is an app. If you don't have it, it's great. I've been doing those a lot. So I'll reach out to someone on my team and I'll say, hey, let's have a team planning call. What time works for you and your team, you and your runners on your team? Maybe it's not the whole team. So this past week I did 5 or 6 of those, and they were 15 minutes or so. And I got my personally enrolled and her runners all together on Zoom. We talked, we planned, we mapped, and we just got to know each other. So if you can add one of those to your week every week, amazing difference it can make in your business, okay? Number 8 on a weekly task list that you could have is, let's see, set up parties via Postcron or ScentShare or Post My Party, whatever you like to use. So once a week or it's really for me about every 10 days, I set up my parties through a third-party posting program. It really helps me to run a lot of parties at one time. So I like to set that up instead of having to post every single day. Number 10 is number 9, I'm sorry, is working on areas that you're weak in. So if you find that sponsoring is very hard for you, maybe once a week, do that thing that is hard for you. Make yourself focus on some self-development in that area. Make yourself send a couple more messages than you want to send, that it's a sponsoring blitz. Whatever it is, work on your weaknesses because that'll make you a stronger leader. And number 10, the last one, is networking. I'm sorry, second to last one is networking, okay? So I want you to think about what that means. Networking means setting up some in-home consults, asking them to bring along a friend to the in-home consult, setting up an event for once a month or every other month. So kind of planning what your future month looks like. Think about where you could fit in some in-homes or an event or get to know people and build your network. Okay, the next one is reach out to your team. When they're very young, I think it's important once a week to kind of go through and voice message people. And I talked about this earlier on a daily task versus a weekly task. This one is important because it's people that aren't necessarily your personally enrolled, but you spend a few minutes once a week reaching out to people that maybe have a high PRS or maybe someone that is sponsoring quite a few people and you notice them. Just being a good leader. Reach out and say, hey, Sally, amazing job. Would you ever want to do a team training call with me? Because you're phenomenal at whatever it is. So being proud of those that are really working hard. And the last thing you could put on there is maybe make yourself make a training video. If you have 1 or 2 or 3 girls, it doesn't matter. Make a training video, let them see you. Send a little quick, even if it's 60 seconds on a tip that you've learned and you can send it through private message. Make yourself get used to leading. Very, very important. Okay, and the last thing I would like to cover to keep it under 20 minutes is monthly goals. Okay, so like I said, time management's huge to me, and I try to plan prior to the month, and I write down some things. I map myself, I map my team, I contact all my elites, contact my personally enrolled, anyone that's working, find out what they want, and I help them set goals that are attainable but push them just like I do myself. So I write down my goals, I contact my team, I make sure that everything is aligned with my why. Why am I doing this? Am I writing down things each month that'll keep me inspired? Very important. Making sure your goals are quantifiable and make sure they're numerical as well. I know that a lot of us do it not necessarily for the money, for other reasons, but it's very important to have a numerical goal, to have something written down, because that's going to equate to the other things that maybe is part of your why. So for me, I write down a numerical goal as well. And the last thing is not only gathering their goals, but making sure when they give you their goals, write them down, hold them accountable, and teach them how to achieve those goals. Okay, here come my kids. I hope this helps. Planning is important, daily goals, weekly goals, and obviously planning a month for your month is so important. I hope this helps. Talk to you girls soon. Bye.